Hello, if you've just joined us, you're watching Consider This. I'm Melisa, Idris, with me Sharaad, Kuttan. School closures due to the MCO have magnified the already existing disparities within the education system. The shift to home-based learning will no doubt have longer-term consequences, especially for the most vulnerable and marginalised. How will the Ministry of Education address the issues related to access and student-teacher preparedness? Joining us on the line now, we have Dr Azwan Abd Aziz, Deputy Director of the Content Development Sector within the Educational Resource and Technology Division of the Ministry of Education. Good evening, Dr Azwan. Thank you for coming on the show tonight.
Yeah.
Now, the Prime Minister, in his announcement of the MCO extension last week, mentioned that the Education Ministry had been instructed to implement home-based learning initiatives during the MCO. Could you help shed some light as to what those initiatives are?
Initially, when the first phase of MCO was implemented, it was during the school holidays. So everyone was happy that, okay, so it is easier for everyone to stay at home. But then after a week of holiday, then the parents and even us in the ministry were also wondering, now how do we address this issue? The Ministry of Education has issued a circular dated 27th March this year, something on home-based learning as well. That is to ensure that all our children will still get to learn at home, despite not being able to go to school for a considerable time. So in this circular, it is stated that teachers will have to adapt their teaching according to students based on their situation and location. Whether their area have a strong internet connection, whether they have intermittent signals, whether it can be accessed only by the cellular phones, or they don't have connection at all. But as you have mentioned just now, we have to cater for students from all sorts of situations. So for this, we have, I think I can list 4 initiatives here. I'll just go through quickly all the 4 of them. Mm-hmm. So number 1, we have prepared for the learning platform, which is called the MOEDL. So DL stands for digital learning. It is only less than a year old, but I think the introduction of this learning platform is very timely. This is given free to students. Every student and teachers will be given the ID to log in to the learning platform. And in there, I can say that it is, to me, like a treasure trove. There are lots of things and activities in there. Even if the students, they do not have, or they forgot to bring their textbook, from, let's say, from the schools. So they can even download the digital textbook from there.
Okay, so that's one initiative. That's one initiative, the learning platform.
Yeah.
What are the other initiatives?
The other one is for we call our learning portal, which is EduWeb TV. So in there are lots of videos in there in which even parents can access, and as well as the students. Mm-hmm. So this video caters for students that ranges from preschool right up to Form 6. And the other one is the Cikgu Tube channel. This one is what we call as the Santai channel, in which the video is produced by the teachers themselves. But it is presented in a more casual way. So those 3 require internet connection. But what if students that do not have the internet connection, or they do not have the right device to access the online learning? So we have just introduced, just on the 6th of April, just a week ago, TV Pendidikan. or what I can term as reintroduced, because we have the TV pendidikan previously. So right now it is being aired through the OK TV through our RTM. For the time being,
thank you for kind of listing those 4 initiatives. Could you help us understand what what needs to be, or the demands on parents, for instance, in terms of facilitating this, to either have their kids switch on the television or access those portals, and then help them through those lessons in a context where they might not have enough structure. There's no discipline around this, no disciplining structures. How will that work?
Oh, no, that is really a challenge, because students have a different situation whereby they have this, either they have right access to the internet, or they do not have it at all. So what we do is we broadcast through the social media, through the TV and radio as well, to announce that there are many ways in which parents can also help the students to learn. The support from the parents are very important. But as you can see, according to the survey that we have done, not many students have their own device.
That's right. 37% of students, according to your survey, don't have a device.
Yes.
So given that of the 4 initiatives that you listed, Dr. Azwan, only 1 is catered for those 37% of students, are they going to be left behind?
Oh, surely not. Because we have already given guidelines to the teachers that in whatever situation, learning has to go on. So, for example, if the students do not own any of the devices, then we hope that the parents that have the device can share to their children of how to use what we call as communication through the teacher to the students. So the teachers would give assignment through WhatsApp or Telegram or any of the social media platforms that the parents have. Then it will be conveyed to the children.
Okay. Dr. Azwan.
Yes.
Sorry, I just to interrupt you. We are running out of time, and I wanted to make this point. Yesterday, our guest on the show pointed out that having access to the internet is not the same as having access to quality streaming. So even if the students have access to digital devices and to the internet, they may not be able to get the most out of the learning platform, out of the learning portal, or Cikgu YouTube. So what is the Ministry of Education doing to address this?
As I've mentioned before, what we can do is to try to vary in terms of the delivery by the teachers. So let's say if they do not have any access at all to the internet, so they have to go through TV pendidikan, and because as you just said, the connection problem that is caused by not having strong internet connection, for example, that can be addressed by using telephone. So it will be good if they have a cellular telephone at home, at least so that they can access that. But failing that, we would have to go through TV pendidikan, which is our means of reaching out to the interiors as well as those that do not have the proper gadgets to access.
Okay, Dr. Azwan, we have just 1 minute left. I want to ask you, post-MCO, when things return to somewhat normal, what are the priorities of the ministry to get everybody to catch up, fill the gaps and address these problems? Do you have plans for post-MCO?
Actually, we do, but as you can see, there was this announcement made by the education minister that students will be returning to schools in phases. So what we have to do is to still rely on either it is online learning or TV pendidikan, and will continue until students can all of the students can return to school in a normal way. So right now we have to get used to the new normal, which is learning, which we call as distance learning.
Distance learning. Dr. Azwan, thank you so much for speaking with us. We really appreciate that the Education Ministry came on to share their insights and the initiatives of home-based learning or distance learning, as you put it. Appreciate your time on this. Now we're going to take a quick break on Consider This, but more on home-based learning in just a few minutes. Stay tuned.